Welcome to Raider Talks. I am your host, Art Navarrete, here alongside Nick, Ibarra, and today we got some news from the NFL. Sounds like Darren Waller might be on the trading block.
Yeah.
They kind of shared a couple different reports about earlier in free agency where we traded for Davante Adams that maybe we were going to trade Darren Waller, but because of him being a franchise tag, you can't trade him.
Some weird rule
at that
like
period. Again, different reports came out. How do you feel about the reports coming out, and how do you feel about if Darren Waller is on the trading block?
Well, I think for both of them, it's kind of both ways. I think, us as Raider fans, kind of like, what? Green Bay's interested in Waller. I'm pretty sure all 31 other teams are interested in Waller. But just the thing that goes into it is that we just traded for Davante. He could have been in that package, if waited longer, or I don't know how that rule works out or whatever. But, we're coming up on draft week, and anything goes. We talked about it, about how we wouldn't be surprised at all if we're picking Thursday night and or Friday night, and I
did say I'd be surprised if we're picking on Thursday night, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're picking on Friday night.
Yeah.
But Thursday night, I'll definitely be surprised. Now it's becoming more of a reality, I would say.
Yeah, and then, I think just with Waller, it's just torn because, me and you had this talk after the season, and it was just like, I think I'd give up Waller for Davante. But now that we got Davante and Waller still on the roster, it's just kind of like, I want to see it. 1 year, I want to see it. But I do know that we have new people coming in, as in McDaniels and Ziegler, and, they want to draft. They want their, first round pick, second round pick, whatever we're going to get for Waller. So I would totally understand, this is their team. This is the way that they want to do it. But it's just torn because I think I would love to see this offense for a whole season. But if the deal's good and, we get our first round or whatever it is, then you might have to pull the trigger.
Well, I said kind of earlier that since the Waller trade couldn't happen with Green Bay, with Davante Adams coming in, I wonder if we made like a little like side deal with them. Like, hey, we're going to take Davante now in a first rounder. Right? We gave him a first rounder and a second rounder and got Davante.
Yeah.
I wonder if like we'll give you Waller later on, like it's kind of like a little deal because they couldn't give him at the time, and maybe we get one of our picks back. Like I don't know what's happening, and in that case, we have to get at least a first round pick for him. Personally, we can't just settle for a second rounder.
No, yeah,
because everybody else in the league might give us a first rounder and even a good player.
Yeah. So I think we would want to draft Thursday night if so, and I think Waller's the only person to get us there. We'll see.
I think we could trade Waller and then get a little David Putney if we wanted it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting time. I would love to see us in the first round in Vegas. I'm sure the NFL is not mad about that if that does happen, because we are in Vegas and we're not going to be picking on day one. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we don't care. But
we got Davante. We wanted Davante, and I think right now, as it still goes, the first round and the second round, there isn't nothing for him because we're not going to get that production back anytime soon, and our window is right now.
That I think the same way. I mean, you're gonna have to get something really good to get rid of him, personally. But we'll see. Well, again, we'll see what happens. I would say keep your TVs on draft night because we might make something happen.
Yeah, especially later, because I know Green Bay. If it's Green Bay's the team, Green Bay picks 22nd and 28, so it'd be later on into the draft, or if someone else comes up and swoops them up earlier, I think that would kind of be nice too. But I don't know about this one. This one, it's just
I'm up in the air with it. Like I would love to have a pick in the first round. I love the draft. It's fun, but again, I think I do want to see what Waller, Davante, Hunter Renfrow, and all those guys can do.
Yeah, if we trade tomorrow, we trade Waller, right? Hey, we trade Waller, we got a pick. We're not better off without Waller yet because we don't even know who we're picking yet. Or whatever, and we're just not going to get that production this year. And I feel like this year, maybe even next year, but for now, this year, like this is our window. Like we can go out and do something special. And I think our offense will look crazy with all of them there.
Yeah, I agree. I talked to my dad earlier, and I was like, I don't know if we're going to get the production out of Waller in these first 2 rounds, especially this season.
Yeah.
In a season we really want to win now type of atmosphere around Vegas.
Yeah.
So it's very, everything's up in the air, like I said. 50-50 in my mind. If we get a first-round pick, I'm going to be pumped up. If we get rid of Waller and be a little sad,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, then you know what, too? Like, today was the first round of voluntary minicamp. And he was there.
And he showed up.
And he showed up at the, voluntary workouts and everything. So,
That's a good sign.
it is a good sign because, certain people like that, with a contract situation or not happy, whatever, they don't do that until it's mandatory. And even when it's mandatory,
They might
in a
not
bad
go still.
situation, they don't care.
Yeah.
And so, he's showing up. He's cool. I saw a couple pictures with him with everybody. We'll see. We got a couple more days left till night 1, and it's gonna be crazy and interesting.
Yeah, well, after these reports hit on Twitter and kind of started going crazy, Derek Carr responded and said that's not happening.
Yeah.
What do you think about that tweet? Do you think Carr's got that power, or do you think it's the Dave Ziegler, Josh McDaniel has the power?
I don't know. I think it's quarterback wanting just more weapons.
Wanting what he wants.
Yeah. And this is your captain. This is your leader. The ball's going to be in his hand every snap. But it's going to go through Ziegler and McDaniels, what they want. This is their team. So I don't know.
What is it like? What did that tweet tell you? Like Waller's going to stay? Because for me, it didn't tell me Waller's going to stay for sure.
No,
it was just like a teammate being a good teammate.
Carr doesn't have a front office job.
Hey,
He's just saying.
Wasn't there a little bit like of reports coming out about kind of like a
I thought so
like
about them that we're not speaking,
like disagreeing on things and not speaking to each other. Like what does that have something to do with what's happening now?
Yeah,
and it's just kind of wild. But all I know is that it will be dangerous with Darren Waller at tight end. And if not, we got a very good tight end in Foster Moreau. And it depends. What kind of offense are we going to run? Is Josh McDaniels going to rely on the wide receiver? Is it going to be wide receiver, a dominant offensive football we're playing? Or is it going to be tight end dominated like some other teams like the Kansas City Chiefs or maybe even like the Patriots sometimes? Is it going to be tight end dominated or wide receiver dominated? Because if it's not tight end dominated, then I'm sure they don't care getting rid of Waller and getting a first round pick, knowing that Foster Moreau can block pretty good and they can get some good blockers in there. So it depends on the offense as well.
Yeah, I think it depends on everything, and another thing too is that we can keep Waller, keep everything the same, and then come this time next month, we've got our $25 million after the June 1st cap, and we have more money to go out and spend and do whatever, and try to build on.
And Waller will save us, I think, $9 million. Yeah, and that's kind of that's pretty good amount of money.
Because let's just say Waller goes out. I think he has two.
I think we're getting Tyrann Mathieu. Waller's out for sure.
I think. Well, Waller's 30. He's getting up there a little bit, and he's. I think he's looking to get paid. So you can go out, have a really good season and a really good offense this year, and then go out and seek a trade next year.
Yeah.
And then Moreau's got another year under his belt learning, and he'll fit into that starter role, or you go sign somebody or draft somebody later on. This is why I'm just like, man, just whatever.
I think the hard thing getting rid of him for is because I think there's been a lot of mistakes in Vegas lately. with Josh Jacobs getting arrested.
Oh yeah,
the Henry Ruggs thing, and you have a guy who's not drinking anymore, not smoking, not doing any drugs. He's sober, and he spreads that knowledge throughout the community of Las Vegas. I think that's another reason it's really hard to get rid of him, because he's a good guy, and he's not going to do anything crazy, and you also know he's great in the community. So that's another reason why it's tough to get rid of Darren Waller.
Oh yeah, and even though, like I said, we don't know the guy, we don't live in Vegas in there, but just hearing a story, and just him, every time they do, community service or things in the community, he's always there with the kids, with everything, and just a very good, really good dude, and represents the silver and black really well, and so I don't know. This is
it seems like he wants to be a Raider for life. So this is definitely, like we said, a tough situation. And it's just going to come down to, I guess it's going to come down to probably draft day, I would say. And that's going to be fun.
Even though we always talk about it, top 3 wide receiver, he is Gruden's and Mayock's guy, though.
Waller? Tight end, top 3 tight end.
Yeah. Top 3 tight end, but he is Gruden and Mayock's guy. They brought him in from the Baltimore practice squad after looking at him and everything. So I don't think it's anything personal towards him or anything, but maybe this is McDaniels and Ziegler's team. The way they want it is the way they're going to do it.
I mean, you could say that, but we're keeping Renfro. We're probably going to extend him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those are those guys, too.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Jacobs. Those are Mayox and all those guys, and they sound really excited about Josh Jacobs. Actually, I don't know. Maybe he might be on a trading block, too. You never know.
I think they would just let him walk next year.
How they feel with Kenyon Drake?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know about that.
Because they're not going to. They're not going to.
Do you think Abram's going to be in a Raider uniform start the year as well? Also, Abram and Farrell. I think those guys are guys that can be a package to get a first round pick.
Well, I know. Not for a fact, but I read something that it was highly unlikely that they were going to do the 5th-year option on the 3 first rounders, the Abram, Cleveland, and Josh Jacobs. And I think Josh Jacobs was the only ones that was like, that may be doable. Because I know Cleveland's was high, Abrams was high, and his was like in the middle. I was like, maybe that's doable, but maybe they'll just wait and see. Because you can always get a running back or whatever. But Josh Jacobs, I do. I think Abram and Cleveland are the only ones that are kind of iffy.
I think so. I think Jacobs is going to have to be here the way he finished the season, especially. If he didn't finish the season that strong, I don't know if he's a for sure lock to be on this Raiders roster.
And if they have a perfect role or a fit for Abram, like, hey, you're just going to be that hybrid linebacker, play in the box, and boom, and it's perfect. We saw a couple games last year where he was...
It's just about being healthy. I think even Trayvon Mullen might be on the trade block as well to try to get a first-round pick. Maybe. Because they're going to want to get these guys, because Abram's been hurt most of his career. Same thing with Mullen. So, and then Farrell has not panned out. He's a special teams guy.
Special teams guy now.
So those are 3 first-round picks, right?
Yeah.
3 first-round picks that I think they're probably thinking we can get something for these guys, and we can get someone more reliable, someone that's going to be on the field 17 out of 17 games.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, who knows? I mean, like you said, Tyrann Mathieu's still out there. You go get Tyrann Mathieu. Morrig fit perfect yet last year and played really good, so you're not going to sit there and say, hey, you're out. So, I mean, it's likely will be Mathieu and him if Mathieu does choose or whatever happens. I think it also, too, is just that June 1st. Then everything just start coming in. More money comes in, and we start throwing some money at players. And by mid-June, going into July, you'll know.
Maybe that's what Matthew's waiting for, that time to come and teams get more money.
Yeah.
Maybe get paid a little bit more. I don't know.
I think a couple more teams had that June 1st cap, too, huh?
Yeah.
Just with everything, and we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see you guys here probably shortly, maybe even draft day number 1.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Or maybe not, hopefully. I don't know. But we'll see you guys for some of our draft picks and definitely some of our undrafted free agents we get we might be excited about. Watch some film, see if they're athletic and all that. That should be fun. We'll see you guys next time, and go Raiders.
Go Raiders.